Well, despite the rain, they got this up today. So you can see the wire from the pump that's under that grey can goes up to the roof now. They've got the solar panels on top. So Jubaeddah's jambu tree is going to be affected a bit, I guess. It's Sunday morning. There was materials left over from the current round of fabrication, and Jubaedah was of the opinion that we should use that material that was left over on something else, because otherwise somebody else would come along and say, oh, can I have that, can I have that? And people get too many freebies around here. So currently they're making up grates of some kind. Not quite sure what they're for, but yeah, there's it looks like there's still weeks of work for these guys here. I gotta go and write up a list of the things I want done. And what the guys have been working on today is the grills that we're going to cover this drain at the back here. So there they are. Meanwhile, over the back we have a bunch of happy frogs. It's Tuesday afternoon, fine and sunny. Hello, birdie. I've started getting these grills in. First job was putting them out for the back edge, obviously. It's fairly heavily angle iron, so that ain't going to rust out anytime soon. But yeah, it's interesting construct. On my dashboard earlier, I saw that the genset was doing a run, and didn't know how long it had been running. Next time I looked, it was no longer doing a run, so okay. So I just come over to check to make sure that the red stop button LED is not flashing. It's all good. So it was just a maintenance run. The system was fully charged already, so it's just supposed to do that every, well, if it hasn't had a run for other reasons for 7 days, it's supposed to start up and run for half an hour just to circulate the oil. Yeah, so it's all good. It's worked as it should. First of the shades for this thing is turned up. 3 metre by 1 metre piece. It's very, very lightweight, and Jubaedah was singularly unimpressed. She doesn't think it's going to last very long, and hey, they're cheap. So if one packs it in, I guess we replace it. The guys are set up to use the air compressor for some spray painting by the look of it. They're currently on siesta. This fingerprint access control unit in the back airlock gave alarms again yesterday, so it sort of seems to have come good after being turned off and turned on again for a while, but that seems to keep repeating. So what I've done as an interim step is I've temporarily rigged up an alternate power control unit, and I'll leave that there for a week, and if we don't get any more alarms, I'll do a permanent swap. If we do get alarms, I now have 2 spare units which have been delivered to a friend in Australia, and I get him to ship one of them up. I'll leave the other one for when other friends come to visit next year. But that's state of play with that one. This has been refined a bit more, I think. So we have the concrete there now and a coat of paint, which is presumably anti-rust paint. And I guess set up to give it a uniform widths down there so that all the grills can be parallel sided and interchangeable. So there's more painting and welding going on over there. And one 3x1 metre paranet thing turn up the other day. Apparently the vendor only had one instead of the two required, so I'm going to either wait for stock to come back in or look for a different vendor of the same thing. And these guys have got the necessary pulleys and tie down cleats for the other nets when they come in. Well, we've eliminated the power supply as the source of the problem. The fingerprint unit alarmed again this morning, so it got turned off. I'll put the original power supply back into service and ask for one of the replacement fingerprint access control units to be sent off. Okay, back on again on the original power unit until the alarm goes off next, and we turn it off again. Well, the guys got these grills installed yesterday, so Jubaedah doesn't have to worry about kids falling in the drain anymore. Already Ara's been on here this morning cleaning potatoes or something or other in the outfall from the washing machine. One thing I did last night was use a couple more cable ties to make that look a bit neater. And my 50 metre cord for the roll-up blinds has come in, and the guy's got the double pulleys and the single pulleys required for those as well, and some tie down cleats. So all we need now is the actual what's that? Oh, okay. All we need now is the actual blinds themselves, because we'll use some of this larger pipe here as a roller and just screw that on at the bottom of each one and roll them up around that. So just a waiting game now. Looks good from that end too. It's a bit neater than it used to be. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. I'm already hot and sweaty from wandering around outside. So it feels like 32.9, does it say? Can't read it through the camera. But yeah, 97% humidity, or 98% humidity. Yeah, that'll do it. So I'm going to sit in my nice cool lounge room, which is probably at about 27 degrees itself, but the humidity's much lower, down around 55 or something like that. Makes it feel much better. This is from the fridge power backup box in Titin's house. The idea behind those boxes is that there is a power lead running from my switchboard here into that box, into the normally normally closed side of this relay. And then there's a connection in from the PLN, which is a public electric network, into the coil and the other set of inputs into this thing. So the idea is that when the mains power is on, the output pins of this supply mains power to the plug board that's on the outside of that box, and that's what the fridge is plugged into. But if the mains go away, the coil de-energizes and the power from this house is connected to the output of this relay, and that way the fridge still has power even when the mains power goes off. Wasn't working in Titin's house, so the guys who had been doing the work for us, they're pretty versatile. they do the electrical stuff as well. So they went over and they decided that looking at the relay, it was stuffed. So I gave them a spare relay. And they went over and bang, and that one was stuffed too. So I handed them and they showed me that they thought maybe the socket was at fault. So I gave them a socket and relay, and they went and swapped that in, and it's all good now. So this socket is no good and it kills relays, so that's going in the recycle. If that replacement relay and relay socket hadn't fixed the problem, the next step was to go to one of these. Now I'm game for that, but Jubaedah doesn't really want to spend the money because these are about $33.50 each, and I have to put one in each of 6 houses. So yeah, adds up to a bit more than pocket change. But that's always there as a last resort. Bit more fiddly because you've got to wire in the control lines on both inputs as well, but that can be done. But I have 2 of those in my collection of spares here. I have spares for all sorts of things. I got door power control units, which is where I got that one that was hooked up temporarily. I have the fail secure electric strike. I have main switches. No, actually that's not there. What's that one? Yeah, that's the main switch for the switchboard and or out the back. Spare timers. That's another one of those. This one was wrong because it's 3 units wide. I needed one that was 2 units wide. So I have those. I have a 3-phase one. I have spare contactors. Yeah, I have spares for most things I need in there. What's that one? That's another one that I think is wider than it was supposed to be. That's okay. I just make sure I have spares on hand. Like in these little packets here, I have the spare countdown relays for the pump over the shed. So yeah, I have lots of spares. Jubaedah spotted that the soffit at the front here was falling down too. So that's another task on the list of the guys to do, to sort out. So we'll see what else happens too. I might have to help here because it's being taller. Well, apparently I've been overruled by the boss. Well, she hates me calling her that. She doesn't really like that, so we're getting bamboo roll-up blinds instead, and I don't know how good that's going to be, given that they're probably not meant for outdoor environments like this. But it is what it is. There's Lisa hadn't ordered the others apparently. So, okay, I give up. Fingerprint unit was alarming again, so I was about to come down and turn it off, and I see that Jubaedah's beat me to it. Lots of root veggies here of some kind that we're going to be consuming by the way. It's Friday morning, so I better do a roundup of what's going on currently and then prepare a video for upload. I've received the cable for wiring up here, so this will be on the guys' list of jobs to do eventually. I restocked on nylon cable ties with another packet of 1,000 30cm by 4.8mm ties. Wonderful things, forever being used. The electric bidet toilet thing in the main shower toilet, good. It wasn't very good from day one, but now it's given up the ghost entirely. I tried to use it the other day and it doesn't even power up anymore, so I figure, okay, we'll get the guys to remove that and put this one on. I could do that myself maybe, but it may be necessary to actually just deconstruct the other one to get it off, because it's got a bracket that sort of fixes down and then it slides back onto the bracket and there's a catch, but you can't get the button to push in and release the catch sufficiently. It just won't come off. So of course that means all the fixings holding it down are concealed. So could be an effort. I've got the soffit reviewed. Now it's just a matter of doing cleanup. Another thing you'll see there is the front slide gate is off the fence. You'll see the bolt for that is actually fairly low. It's by the time you bend down to get the lock on it, it's way down there. So that's sort of even for Jubaedah, that's low. So we're looking at trying to get that changed somehow so it's mounted higher up. That could be a challenge, I guess. On this thing of the house, glitched again this morning. Got down to 25% state of charge, and when it started the import from the shed, it glitched, so it shut off output to the house for a second or less, which took out a DVR, 2 NASs and my PC, and I've got to go and reset 4 o'clock sometime. But the DVR and one of the NASs, they recover automatically pretty easily. The other NAS in the lounge room, I have to actually physically power that on again because it doesn't power back on automatically. And the PC, I have to usually reboot that a couple of times before it comes good. So that's a pain in the arse. So I've sent him off a message saying it's done again. But I'd done it previously and they'd changed the setting and we thought the issue was fixed, but no. If it happens again, I'll be getting the 2 kVA UPS off the bench over the shed and bringing it back, putting it on my desk in the lounge room. That'll protect the PC and the NAS that doesn't like to come back. Downside of that is it's a double conversion UPS, which means it generates more heat and has louder fan noise than the cheap ones. Compromise you make. But anyway, that's enough for this week. I shall bung this all together and do an upload.